Hello everyone, welcome to the class on hepatitis and the drugs used to treat it. Especially in this class I am going to deal with viral hepatitis. At first, hepatic means liver, itis means inflammation. So hepatitis means inflammation of the liver. In this video I am going to explain about what is jaundice, what are the causes for that, hepatitis B virus and hepatitis C virus and the drugs used to treat these infections. Let us begin. Now, hepatitis means, as I told you, it is inflammation of liver. It can be caused by various agents like infectious hepatitis, viral infection, bacterial infection or parasitic infections. Any of these can cause inflammation of liver. Similarly, there is another thing called as toxic hepatitis. Ingestion of alcohol, certain drugs and some of the chemicals will also cause hepatitis or inflammation of liver. Radiation also causes inflammation of liver, and autoimmune hepatitis is also there, wherein our own immune cells start attacking liver, and that is what results in inflammation of liver. Now, let me pay some time for this alcoholic hepatitis. See, alcoholism will cause liver damage. Most of the people die with chronic alcoholism due to liver damage. So this is a self-inflicted problem. So please do not excessively consume this alcohol and cause damage to your own liver. Moving further, now as I told you, this class is mostly about viral hepatitis. Now viral hepatitis, what happens is, now let me clear one thing about jaundice. Now jaundice, the word is derived from a French word which indicates yellowish color. Jaundice means yellowish color. Now what happens in jaundice is, there is a pigment known as bilirubin. Now, bilirubin, when the levels of bilirubin in the blood is more than 2 mg per deciliter, deciliter means 100 ml. When the levels of bilirubin in the blood is more than or equal to 2 mg per deciliter, that condition is known as jaundice. What happens is, these excess levels of bilirubin will give a characteristic yellow color to skin and eye sclera, and that is what becomes jaundice. Now, most of the time during hepatitis means inflammation of liver or there is an injury to the liver. Now what happens is, why all these conditions are happening is, now let us see how we form this bilirubin. Now red blood cell lifespan is only 120 days. Now after 120 days the red blood cells will break down and the metabolism occurs in liver. In liver, in RBC heme is oxidized and it is converted to biliverdin and then bilirubin. Now this bilirubin goes out of the body through excretion. When there is a damage to liver, when liver functioning is affected, this bilirubin will not be excreted through the fecal route, rather the levels are increased in the blood. So when the levels are more than 2 mg per deciliter, the yellowish coloration occurs, and that is what happens in jaundice. So jaundice is closely related to this liver functioning. If liver is not functioning properly, it causes jaundice. So this is the background about jaundice. Moving further, now hepatitis, as I told you, inflammation of liver is known as hepatitis. Now viral hepatitis can be caused by 5 types, A, B, C, D, E. There are 5 major types of viruses are there, like A, B, C, D, E. Now vaccines, you have vaccine for hepatitis A, B, D, E, but we don't have vaccine for hepatitis C, because it has got a lot of, it is called as a pleomorphic virus. There are a lot of variants up there, so it is not possible to get a proper vaccine for this virus. Now estimated cases, hepatitis B and C are the dangerous one. You have 400 million cases are there, that means 40 crore cases are there. Now death, 1.4 million people die every year. This is a large number. Now treatment, 90% of hepatitis C patients can be healed within 3 to 6 months. Now you need to understand this one. As we have seen, you have A, B, C, D, E types are there. Now out of them, A and E are self-limiting. Self-limiting means after some time they will get cured. You know, the normal jaundice which all the people get are because of A and E. For that there are no antiviral drugs are there. It is self-limiting. When you give rest to the liver, it gets healed by itself. That is what happens in traditional treatment of jaundice. In traditional treatment, you don't take any antiviral drug, rather you eat simple carbohydrate. What happens this one, the simple carbohydrates can be easily metabolized and you are not putting pressure on the liver. So liver is getting rest the inflammation will get cured. So this is what is known as self-limiting. Whereas B and C, see, A and C will cause only acute infection. It is not chronic. It is not for longer duration of time. Whereas B and C will cause chronic infection. Chronic infection means it will be more than 6 months. Whereas D is a weak virus. Usually it comes along with hepatitis B. So this is about diseases. Now, how this virus spreads? Hepatitis A and E, usually it is spread through fecal oral route when sanitization is not good. When food hygiene, contaminated water, sanitary facilities, all of them will cause this infection. Whereas in case of BCD, it is parenterally transmitted, like from blood, sperm and other body fluids. And as I told you, B and C, the major burden is because of B and C. That is the reason why in this class I am going to explain about the treatment of hepatitis B virus and hepatitis C virus. Moving further. Now, when you see the viruses, see, all the viruses has got genetic material as RNA. The only exception is hepatitis B. It has got a partially double-stranded DNA. See, you can see this. It is not a completely double-stranded. It is partial double-stranded DNA. So that is what is there with hepatitis B. Now, when you observe the other things, they have got certain antigens called as hepatitis B surface antigen. On the surface, it has got certain proteins, that is what acts as antigen. Similarly, it has got also E proteins which acts as hepatitis C E antigens. So these are the one which will cause immune response. So the important things are A and E, we don't need to worry because they are self-limiting. B and C, dangerous, they will cause chronic infection. D could not cause infection as such. Usually it comes along with hepatitis B virus. Moving further. Now see, liver diseases, when you see a healthy liver will be like this. You have normal hepatic cells are there. Steatosis is nothing but fatty liver. The fat accumulation will be like this. After that you have fibrosis and then cirrhosis. These are all the stages. Even when people consume alcohol, the healthy liver will become fatty liver and then fibrotic liver and then cirrhosis will occur. The viral diseases will also have the same stages. In order to explain it further, see, healthy liver, this is how it appears. Normal hepatocytes will be there. Now, this is what is called as steatosis or fatty liver. Excess fat builds up in the liver. At one point of time, in 2019, there is a question in GPAT regarding steatosis. It is nothing but fatty liver. Now, after that, what happens in fibrosis is the connective tissue replaces normal tissue. Normal tissue, because of inflammation, it starts dying and it is replaced by connective tissue, which cannot carry out normal liver functions. When it aggravates, it becomes cirrhosis, in which the nodular texture surrounds this fibrotic tissue. You can see this nodular surroundings. And cirrhosis, after that you have the final stages of cirrhosis. Death may occur because of this final stages of cirrhosis. Now, let us say about hepatitis B. Now, as we have seen already, hepatitis B has got partial double-stranded DNA is there. The virus will get inside the cell. Uncoating occurs. You can see this is partially double-stranded. It is not completely double-stranded. Uncoating occurs and the genetic material gets into human cell nucleus. Now, once it gets into the nucleus, in human cell, it forms something called as CCC DNA. That means, CCC means covalently closed circular DNA. Understand this. See, this one is not a closed DNA. You can see here it is a break, open is there. And that is closed with covalently circular DNA, and this is what happens in human beings. Now, the problem with this CCC, covalently closed circular DNA, is there are no drugs to eliminate this CCC DNA. It cannot be cured. No cure is there. So that is the problem with this hepatitis B virus. Now, once this DNA is formed, it has got two things. It can form, due to the transcription, it will be forming RNAs. There are two different types of RNAs are there. One kind of RNA will form envelope or outer coat proteins, envelope proteins. The other one, which is known as pregenomic RNA. So, two different RNAs are there. Envelope RNA will be forming these things, the surface antigens. That means the external envelope is formed without genetic material. This is called as subviral particles. So, inside you don't have any genetic material is there. It is only the external envelope. Now, the problem with this subviral is whenever the subviral particles are formed. Now it has got this surface antigen. Because of that surface antigen, immunity will get activated and immune mediators will come and attack these particles. This is what causes immune tolerance. Immune tolerance means our immune mediators are engaged with this one which do not have genetic material, and T cell number will get exhausted because of neutralizing these subviral particles. But what happens after this? This pre-genomic RNA will be encapsulated. The RNA is surrounded with these envelope proteins, and with the help of reverse transcriptase, DNA is formed, and because of DNA polymerase, again it forms this partially double-stranded DNA, and it goes and releases and it attacks. Again the same cycle will occur again. Or this encapsulated variant can also get into the nucleus. The same cycle may go on. So this is what happens with this. The important things with this one is, see, you have RNA polymerase is there, reverse transcriptase is there, and DNA polymerase is there. So the drugs will target these enzymes, RNA polymerase, reverse transcriptase, and DNA polymerase is affected. Look at the drugs. Now interferons. See, interferons will generate antiviral proteins. They also activate natural killer cells. Pegylated means polyethylene glycated interferons. Now these are very powerful agents which are used to treat hepatitis B virus. So they act by JAK-STAT mechanism. So they increase the levels of antiviral proteins in NK cells, and they act on hepatitis B virus. Now when you see the adverse effects, see, the most common one is fatigue. Asthenia means weakness. Pyrexia means increase in temperature. Myalgia, pain in muscles, and headache. Now some of them are fatal, like neuropsychiatric, autoimmune, ischemia, and infectious disorder may also cause. And see, the blood levels has to be monitored continuously. And interferons are contraindicated in liver disease and pregnancy. They should not be given in these cases. The other drugs like entecavir, tenofovir, edifovir, telbuvidin, all of them will be acting on DNA polymerase inhibitors. The viral DNA polymerase is inhibited by all these drugs. Now entecavir, see, entecavir should be taken on empty stomach, but the problem is it may cause lactic acidosis. The other major adverse effects are headache, fatigue, dizziness, and nausea. Now see, during cirrhosis a higher dose is required to be used, and it has to be used along with lamivudine or telbuvidine in order to combat the resistance. When the dose is increased, the chances of lactic acidosis increases. So care should be taken. Again, tenofovir, when renal damage is there, dose has to be reduced. Renal function has to be checked. It may cause decreased bone mineral density. The major adverse reactions are abdominal pain, nausea, insomnia, lack of sleep. Insomnia means pruritus, itching sensation, vomiting, dizziness, and pyrexia. Now all these drugs, again dose adjustment has to be given. The most common side effects are, for edifovir it is asthenia or weakness. Lamivudine, it may cause certain infections, sore throat, and diarrhea. Telbuvidine, it also causes nausea, diarrhea, fatigue, myalgia, and myopathy. Now out of all these drugs, lamivudine will inhibit reverse transcriptase enzyme. You can see this. Lamivudine will inhibit this enzyme, whereas the remaining drugs, they inhibit DNA polymerase. Whereas interferon, as I told you, it increases NK cells and antiviral proteins. So this is about the treatment of hepatitis B. Now coming to hepatitis C. Hepatitis C has got only RNA as a genetic material, especially positive strand. Positive strand means it can translation will give proteins. So it gets into the cell through endocytosis, fusion occurs, and then it releases the positive strand RNA. That RNA will give you translation, and polypeptide processing occurs with the help of an enzyme called protease. So initially polypeptides are formed, they are converted into active proteins with the help of protease. Again the same RNA undergoes RNA replication, assembly occurs, and finally it gets released. So the important things are, see, the translation, protease enzyme, and RNA replication. When you see the drugs, see, sofosbuvir is a blockbuster drug which is very widely used to treat hepatitis C. You can see it is used along with the combination of all these drugs. Now this one inhibits the viral, this step is inhibited. The RNA replication is inhibited because of this So fosbuvir, RNA replication is inhibited. Now whereas ritonavir inhibits protease enzyme. Protease enzyme is required for activation of these proteins. Here the polypeptide processing occurs because of protease and that is inhibited here. Ribavirin is a different kind of drug. Again it inhibits RNA dependent RNA polymerase is inhibited by ribavirin. It has got multiple actions. It also causes immune modulation. For all these drugs there are very tolerable side effects are there like fatigue, weakness, dizziness and nausea. All of them has got this kind of tolerable side effects. So these are all the drugs which are specifically used to treat hepatitis C. So this is about viral hepatitis. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, do subscribe.